This is a song about the podcast Manga Chat. It's where it's at. Manga Chat. I'll never come back from Manga Chat. Hosted by Simon and Josh. Josh is the sidekick and Simon's the boss. Or maybe that's not the way things are. Everyone who goes on Manga Chat is a star. Manga Chat. It's where it's at.
Four viewers talk about a drop-off.
Oh no! See, we're talking about comic books. I mean, who, it's not gonna light the world on fire, is it, Josh?
Yeah. How's it going?
Oh, all right. We've just Josh and I have just had a pitch turned down by a big Hollywood man. So we've metaphorically walked outside the casino for a cigarette and a stare at the horizon, and then we're going to go back in the casino and put some more chips down on the table and see where everything lands. Yeah.
Yeah, so if there's a bit of a somber episode, it's because we got a big no from Mr. Television today.
Well,
Just this one.
It's tough out there pitching. I mean, there's a lot of other people out there pitching, and when you're pitching genre stuff, you've got to. I thought we'd made ours weird enough to set it apart, but I guess maybe that horrible weirdness is what did us in.
Yeah.
Don't know, but anyway, yeah, you just keep rolling with the punches. Like with anything, keep rolling with the punches and have some noodles.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good. I'm good, Josh.
What you eat? Pot noodle?
Yeah, ramen.
Did you get into pot noodles when you lived in England? Did you ever try one of those Bombay bad boys?
No.
It's like inedibly spicy.
Really? Yeah, I had a Chapatera one the other night. And it killed me. I was like, fuck. I was like, I should finish it because I paid a few bucks for it. I was like, fucking hell. I was tearing up. I was on fire. It was awful. I had another one. I actually did throw it out. I was like, I'm not going to eat it. I should have given it to someone. Should have gone wandering the streets. But I wouldn't want to have done that to someone. I would have had to give them water as well. But it'd turn out to give a mouse a cookie, if you get that reference. Probably not, because you don't have a child.
No idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, here we are on Manga Chat. Me, Simon Hanselmann, award-winning cartoonist. Josh Pettinger, award-nominated cartoonist.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about comics. We're here to talk about the news of the week. We're here to, have a good time.
Yeah, I've not bought any comics this week, I don't think, have I? No, not bought anything this week.
Yeah, I went to Secret Headquarters over the weekend.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just dropped in with my kid. We were going down to Iron Est Vintage on Sunset Strip, which is a fantastic vintage toy store. And it's really cool. They have like a girls' cabinet. So my daughter loved it. They've got like strawberry shortcake, glowworms, popples, all these old girls' toys from the 80s. So that's cool. And these dusty sort of, manly collectible stores, you often don't see that. So it was nice for my daughter. And I also bought a nice Kimber the White Lion, like Tezuka coin bank for a decent price. That's some really nice stuff. But yeah, we were in their vicinity. We went to Secret Headquarters. Nothing for me in there, but my daughter got some. She got a Bluey book. She got a Peanuts book. She bought a Garfield comic, a quite awful Garfield comic. I've been reading it to her and like, oh, I don't like this. It's a bit crass, a bit modern.
Yeah.
We also bought her a Superman comic. She's obsessed with Superman for some reason. Her grandpa bought her a Superman figure at the Walmart. I don't know why. And now she's just weirdly a 4-year-old girl obsessed with Superman. I have to keep doing his voice. It's me, Superman. I'm a super guy. How you doing, kiddo? But anyway, we bought her an old facsimile 1955 comic with the crypto dog in it. She likes the dog. Yeah. Charles Burns chose her. My wife last week, I said, was in Philly, and she was hanging out with Charles Burns, and they were at Partners and Sons, and he picked out a Superman comic for my daughter because he, heard that she liked Superman, and he picked one. It's like volume 3. It's called Superman Family. It's like, these thin newsprint $15 ones. But I've been reading it, Josh. It's lovely. I've been reading it to my daughter, and it's some really enjoyable old, late 50s Superman. It's all black and white. The line work's really nice. You can see why Charles Burns would like it and recommend it. It's a bit It's almost like they ripped him off. Like they went back in time and ripped off Charles Burns.
And they had that at Partners and Son.
Yeah, I guess they had a few in stock, just sitting around, these cheap paperbacks. But yeah, it was really enjoyable, actually. Yeah, it's good. I'm trying to explain to my daughter the gravity of Charles Burns, like one of the greatest living cartoonists, has chosen this Superman book for you. This is not a shit munch of Superman book. This is chosen by Charles Burns himself. She just knows him as the dinner table dog man.
Oh, yeah.
We have that portrait of our Wanda, our Boston Terrier, but that he did.
Oh, yeah.
Dinner table. So he's just dinner table dog man. She doesn't give a shit. But enjoyed the comic. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. This comment doesn't make much sense, but thanks, Coolaroo. Appreciate it.
Yep. A bit of wordplay.
Oh, okay, I get it. I thought it was just somebody very confused.
I picture Charles's face all the time. I can't help it like that. I heard that Cake song the other day somewhere. That the Going the Distance song. And it's something about something, and he burns. And I just pictured Charles Burns' face in my mind.
Yeah.
I can't see an ad for the show Burns Notice without Charles Burns' face be soul patched.
I was watching this show last night about called Smoke, about arsonists. It's not the word burns, but it does have burn in it.
My buddy is the editor on that.
Really?
One of Penny's school friends. Yeah, buddy of mine. I was just hanging out with him at the dance studio the other day, and I was like, "What do you work on?" He's, "Oh, Smoke just came out." I was like, "Oh, well, never heard of it. They've not advertised it." Here you go, Josh. You're advertising it. There we go. Smoke on Apple. Yeah.
That's fun. Had Rafe Spall in it. I don't know what else to say. It's,
How was the editing?
really good cuts. I'd like
Tom
more
Buddy.
star wipes, but that's my rudimentary taste.
I'm hanging out with him tomorrow for July 4th, so I'll let him know. I'm like, "Hey, you got some press for the show." They specifically talked about the editing.
Bringing in the viewers for them. Yeah.
Oh, where, Simon? Oh, Manga Chat. Give it a watch.
Yeah.
We're testing for viewers.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, but big news this week in comics, the diamond stuff. Josh, have you seen any of this?
Some sort of, there's a Coors Light Safeway truck going by. Hang on. Could you hear that?
No.
Okay. I couldn't hear anything. This massive truck, but yeah. What were you saying?
Just about diamond, the news this week, Josh, about the ongoing diamond distribution.
Yeah,
bankruptcy.
they have. I was reading they have like in their possession like $100,000 worth of Tedwood books.
Yeah, sounds like it.
What are they going to do with those?
Well, they're selling them. They're just not paying the publishers.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wait, but then the publisher's the one who pays me.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
Well, Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Eric Reynolds from FANTAGRAPHICS, both of our editor. He our English language editor. We have many editors around the world. But yeah, he just did a big interview on ICV2 talking about, they are still selling all the books, but they're not really paying for them or something. So the books are legally owned by FANTAGRAPHICS. So I think I just saw a news article. It's like on Bleeding Cool, Dynamite Comics owed $1 million by Diamond. Can't make payroll next week. So they're just holding everyone's money hostage.
Yeah, I was really I found this news to be really boring, and I was getting ready to check out while you talked about it until I realized that affects me. So
yes, your books, some of your books are actually tied up in this, Josh. So yeah,
bad news.
I mean, we're mostly self-publishing guys and stuff in multiple, channels around the world, different languages. So I mean, it's not really going to affect our business, but it's crazy to see FANTAGRAPHICS describe it as DEFCON 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking a lot of shit. A lot of comic shops are going to close down. We've been talking about that for years. All the comic book shops, or Funko Pop shops, as they mostly are these days, They're all
Yeah.
going. I don't know. It's just selling rotary telephones to a bunch of cell phone people. It's just how long is this thing going to go on for, Josh?
It's pretty bleak.
It's bleak. I don't know.
This guy, the Eraserback, says comics are dead. No, that's not true.
Well, I mean, I've just sold like 2,500 books in the last couple of weeks myself. So you do the math, doing all right. So it's more than a lot of major publishers, which is a sad statement. So it's not dead. Again, there's vinyl in the Walmart down the road. You can go to the Target and the Walmart, get some vinyl. So nerds are going to keep reading, physical chap booklets, but just not as many.
Yeah, and I think this is something we have a guest coming on later for like the second half of the show, and I was like listening to them talk recently about like the effects of AI, and this person, I mean, we can get into it with the guest, but specifically was saying that I think with AI, handmade things are going to be more valuable, and they're going to be, more, people are going to want them more. So I mean,
we're physical people made of flesh and bone. We like tactile things. We all work in
I
a
think that's
computer.
going to be true of like.
It's a pleasure to touch
Your
something.
shops close or whatever. I think if comics are harder to get, I think people are going to want to go for more like interesting stuff than just the Wednesday pull list stuff.
Well, that's going to be gone. There'll be no more Wednesday pools or anything. There's no shops to hold that up. It's all going to be online. It's all going to be trying to fight through, Google AI and algorithms just to advertise to, try to trick not trick, but lure people to your Shopify or Big Cartel to send them an overpriced piece of paper folded up in an envelope for an exorbitant shipping price. Very challenging.
Yeah, who doesn't want to pay $35 for 28 pages of water sports drawn by me?
Yeah, well, that stuff's reasonably priced in a way. I saw a bunch of ads recently for a bunch of shit-looking books. They're like $25 for like a 20-page. Again, it's the Rhizo stuff. It's like, oh, we risographed it. So it's like, okay, so it's like $3 a page to read it. Like, there's no story in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So me charging like $11 currently for like a 56-page comic, I don't feel like a total fucking creep.
Yeah. Speaking of, we can get back to this subject because somebody asked a question earlier that I wanted to, that we should answer. But with one of our mutual friends, Nathan Cowdery's like currently working on his book, which the shipping's going to be exorbitant for that. He's in the UK, but you want to check in and see how Nathan's doing?
What, right now?
Yeah.
Was he online?
No, just check in and see how he's getting along with his book.
I suppose so. Right now,
I train while I'm eating. I train when I'm driving. I'm constantly bettering myself as a man, which is exactly what I wanted my son to be. Just be a man. A man who's responsible. He's kind, he's gentle. But in his pursuit of happiness, he is fierce.
That gives me hope.
he's pounding away over there. That was electrifying.
Yeah, knowing that he's out there doing that, I mean.
Right now, that was a live feed from his masturbatorium.
Yeah, it blows off some of the cobwebs and some of the doom here. It's got me quite excited about comics again.
Well, of course. I mean, also this week we've had the whole Silver Sprocket thing. I think 4 months ago, the Comics Journal ran a fluff piece. Like, oh, Silver Sprocket, they're the best. They're so virtuous. They're so incredible. And then 4 months later, like, oh, they're garbage. They're money thieves. Like, are they stupid or are they malicious? Like, it's all. No, let's talk about royalties and everything come up. Like, yeah, no, it's, a lot of people getting all doomy about it, but I feel electrified. As you said, Nathan Cowdery's working on stuff. Like, we've got lots of friends tinkering away. What's Anna Highfish doing? I mean, it's just pure cartooning joy. Ellen's tinkering away. Alex Graham's making the next chapter of The Devil's Grin, which I think is the best book this year. It's just electrifying story writing, immersive and beautiful and fun. But yeah, so it's whatever. It's new we just need to find new structures and stuff. You know, we're turning into rotary telephones as an industry. We just need to find new. Oh, digital failed. I don't know. We've got to find something else.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that is, because yeah.
Well, someone in the comments just like, well, they say like, oh, I got an email saying, what was a 51% increase in priority mail? That can't be real. Caleb, got an email from USPS saying that priority mail is going up 51%. I mean, how's that?
That's good. Is that, if that's true, that's, I mean, we use media mail, I suppose, but still, that's
Oh yeah, for the tracking. Use media mail for the tracking. That's horrifying. I mean, if international mail goes up anymore, we're fucked.
yeah.
It's like $16, $17 to send a book to Europe, and then most of them don't even get delivered. Like, oh, attempted delivery. It's like, well, what do you mean attempted? Well, you couldn't get into the mailbox. What's going on, mailmen in Europe? So you're googling it, John.
Yeah, they're raising priority mail by up to 51%. That's crazy.
That's insane. We need some, like, I don't know, new autonomous companies, some upstart, companies to come in and, oh, there we go. Joe Walsh, media mail is going down 2%. So we're goof. Goof Troop reference there from Joe Walsh. Oh, good. He's corrected himself. Not a Goof Troop goofy reference. Just a genuine goof up.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I'm trying to think if I use priority mail. I use that for original art.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah. But that's a high ticket item. That's, it's $1,000, $2,000 for, an art so that's not a huge increase. And normally the buyer of the art will pay for the shipping, but I don't think it'll be a huge deterrent. Well, 2%, that's interesting, and it's going down a bit. That's, a tiny difference. That's not going to impact our business structures or whatever, really.
But I mean, if they start cracking down on media mail, like comics technically aren't supposed to be sent media mail, I don't think. Except for the ones we do, I think they can be considered art books because they don't have advertisements in them, right?
Yes, I was about to say, I think that they define comics as like full of advertisements. They're featuring archaic floppies full of cereal and toy ads aimed at children. So
yeah. But I think if they open your books up, if they open the package up, it's up to the discretion of the person who's opened it, maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, like my, comic I'm sending out, it does have a few plugs in the back, like, like check out Pleasure Beach from Josh Pettinger, check out this stuff. So it's not, I guess that's an advertisement. It's, it's a heartfelt, genuine recommendation. I'd argue if I had to go in front of the Postmaster General.
Yeah, you would tell Louis DeJoy that it's that's an endorsement. You weren't paid for that. It's not an advertisement per se, is it?
Exactly. No, we'd fight this. We get our lawyers involved, Josh. We'd take them to the ends of the earth, fighting on that.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't, not interested in really the discourse of like the silver sprocket thing. I think it's a lot of that is like, it feels like it may as well be a different medium. I'm not,
Well, it's a different part of the scene. It's it's black metal versus K-pop. It's just it's a different segment of the comic scene. Generally.
Yeah.
We know Avi. We've met him at Comic Con. I've always thought. I'll go on record saying I think Avi is not a malicious guy. I think he's doing his best. Probably gotten a bit in the woods with all the growing of the business, the complication of so many different facets of it. But
yeah, I mean, I think just like this insane expansion happened, and it just like there's no like infrastructure for that.
Yeah, and weird contracts, like the 50-50 split sounds good, but then if you are going ahead and like reprinting someone's book from their royalties, like maybe they want the royalties, but then you still want the book in print. But it just needs to be a more open conversation, I suppose. But
another question. I posted an Instagram story about it, saying that like essentially like there's basically, if you're like a younger artist, I think if you're going to sign a contract or if you get a publishing deal, just like, I don't think it's weird to message artists who are like further along in their career to like art, or who have that specific contract or that deal with that publisher, to ask them like, what deal did you get? Are you happy with it? Stuff like that. If you're normal about it, I think it's fine to do that stuff.
Yeah.
This person asked what red flags in a publishing deal. Like, I'm curious if you could talk about some red flags to look out for in publishing deals. Can you think of any? I don't know.
I mean, for me, it's televisual rights. That's always been an issue. Just international rights as well. If the publisher is saying that they're going to be, they want worldwide rights. I mean, often it's like a 50-50. Like you'll just get 50% of any royalty. So I have an agent. So I try to freeze my worldwide rights. So I have them all. So then if I get, like say a Spanish or a French deal, I get all of the money, not 50%. I get my full 100% royalty after my agent's 10%.
Yeah.
So
I did the same. Like I had a back and forth with FANTAGRAPHICS about my contract about keeping international rights because I just think I'm gonna fight harder to get foreign editions printed than they are. So it's like and I would just keep more money of it. So what
Yeah, it's publishers are busy and stuff. I think certain publishers I can think of have had like 3 different international rights people over so many years. Like they're not totally on the ball, constantly out there on the ground selling every single book. I mean, I'm lucky I've got an agent who goes to like, all the big book fairs around the world and stuff and tries to sell shit. And
yeah.
if they're going to take all your TV rights, like, just like, independently you get something set up, but then in your contract they get 20% of all your TV earnings after you've got to pay like an agent and a lawyer. I mean, that's just fucking annoying. That would piss me off. Like, you've not done anything. Why do you get? It's just, so look out for shit like that in the contract. But I guess look out for this 50-50 profit share type stuff. I guess that doesn't always work out. That sounds attractive. I think Picturebox years ago did like, after production costs 50-50 split between publisher and artists, which sounds ethical. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing, like I guess, like the thing that gets talked about most is advances, and I think like everybody's ideal thing is like the big advance, but I mean almost every book is not gonna recoup a big advance. Like I just think like with FANTAGRAPHICS, I got an advance, and so the first year I might not get any royalties, but with like Floating World, so there was like no advance for the Goy to Floating World book, but really quickly I was getting royalty checks.
I will say to my agent usually, like, don't fight for a big advance. Like, just get it on the back end or whatever. Like, I mean, yeah, you promote to piss the publisher off. And like, if you're lucky, you sell 3,000 books. For a new cartoonist's first book or something, you sell, 500 copies, 1,000, 2, 3, if you're lucky. If it goes off a bit, you'll sell 7 or something thousand. Like, it's not big numbers. So, if you get a, massive advance, like, you're not going to see any money past it.
Yeah, and I mean, if they give you, say they give you a $50,000 advance that you want, it's like your book isn't going to make that back, and are you going to get a second book?
Yeah,
depends. Why would they give you a second book?
Only now or in the future. I choose the future usually. Anyway, bunch of dour business crap, Josh. Do you have any bird watching to do, Josh? Should get our guest on in a minute.
Yeah, we should. There's a little bit of bird watching. Should we do the bird watch, or do you want to skip?
Everyone loves the bird watching, Josh. It was a massive hit.
I'll do some bird watching.
Got to do the bird.
Keep this one brief this week. Remember last week we had I showed you those ducks growing up. It's like they started as ducklings, got bigger and bigger. this might be the last time we see them as a that group of ducks as a family. I got this is from today. This is the same family. It's quite interesting because they're basically like full grown at this point. But you'll be able to see them. You better tell who the mum is because she's still watching out for all these full grown adult ducks.
They're about to get out there and start doing their own thing. Off to college. Are they mallards? What kind of ducks are they?
They're all. I think they're all female ducks. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Very rapey ducks, the mallards. I've seen some real horrible mallard crime. I've seen gay necrophilic mallards.
Really?
Yeah, saw some dark stuff in the UK. I saw a video recently on the social media of a woman getting very upset at the conduct of some mallard ducks. And like, you know, stop, get away from her. So that's what they do.
Yeah, that's good. I think maybe we should keep this like this sort of thing for your own segment, your anti-bird segment. But this is a positive bird segment.
I'm just talking about the birds. If you want to disagree with the actual mating behaviour of the birds, you take it up with the birds, mate, not me. I'm reporting the facts. Calm down, Bilotti.
Well, the next bird, I'm going to talk about some owls. You have anything horrific about owls? You want to ruin owls for me?
I could, but I'll just play your clip. Play your clip.
You can't see the owls very well in that. So I did find this is somebody from Instagram. Don't be weird and follow this account and be weird comics people. Just enjoy the picture. This is the exact same birds that the exact same owls that someone else took a picture of.
Oh, that's much better than your footage, Josh.
This week that was ducks and owls. I think I meant heron special next time.
Nathan Cowdery popped up again.
Yeah. Do you want to check in on him again one more time?
The night owl, yes.
There's going to be a flood of people coming back to you with a response. I had to be good. I had to look good. It wasn't just about fighting a man. It was about showing the art, the craft of what it means to be a warrior.
He's having some deep thoughts while he's working there. Some quiet, sort of almost muted deep thoughts.
Yeah, working hard there. Heartening to see Nathan doing his thing.
He's beavering away right now as we speak. Brush, dipping in the pigment, and then spreading itself across the page. Beautiful. The dance, the endless dance.
Sent a link to our guest on Instagram. So we should have a guest in a minute. I do have a hard out at 1 o'clock, but
yeah, roll the DVD thing then, Josh.
All right, let's get that going.
It's Simon's DVD corner. No music for me, I notice. You're not editing any music in there for me. This is Simon's boring, almost silent DVD corner.
Well, as you know, this week I thought Manga Chat was tomorrow, so I was like, I allotted some time between like 2 and 3 to do some editing on that stuff. So unfortunately,
I'll have a fun new segment next week, hopefully, and yeah, Josh's birds will be all decked up. But anyway, yeah, I got the new Todd Solondz palindromes. You seen this one, Josh?
No, not yet.
It's an interesting film. The main character is a 13-year-old girl who just desperately wants to get pregnant, so they'll have someone to love, and they're played by 8 different actors, including a little boy, a large black lady, an older woman, a younger woman. Yeah, there's the brother from Welcome to the Dollhouse, earlier film. He's in there. He's an accused pedo character in this. But great film. This is a 4K kind of like redo, nice limited edition. Only 1,000 of these. I picked this up. I've got the old version, but love Todd Solondz. Great film. Weird film. Sort of strange one in his oeuvre. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, nice booklet in there, as I pointed out. Nice supplementary material. The old one is a nice booklet. Lots of great quotes. I love how Todd writes about, or characters. I love this quote. When one goes to the movies normally, one is asked to identify with an attractive protagonist who says and does the right thing, perhaps even behaves heroically, so that in the end, having made this identification, one feels better about oneself. There is almost a narcissistic high. When one goes to one of my movies, however, the characters are all flawed, and it is precisely those flaws that I find to be revelatory. If one is looking for a narcissistic experience, therefore, one will be very disappointed by my movies. I love that quote. I love Todd. He writes very complicated characters, and he doesn't want to pander to anyone's, personal or political views, or to kind of confuse people and make them think. And yeah, great films. Check out Palindromes if you've not seen it, by Todd Solondz. Good stuff. I got the Greg Araki Criterion, the Teen Apocalypse trilogy with Doom Generation and stuff. I think it's Doom Generation that's partially based on Amy and Jordan by Mark Beyer, the Amy and Jordan comics. Yeah, I remember reading that. It's somewhat inspired by that, which is weird because it's such a weird comic. But I just have to watch it and look out for any Amy and Jordan references. I think maybe the main characters are called Amy and Jordan. I can't remember. But yeah, I got this 50% off in like a Criterion 50% off sale, so that was pretty exciting. Love Greg Araki. Picked this up the other day. So Rutger Hauer double feature. I bought it for Mysteries.
Yeah.
It's a Knut Hamsun novel, a Norwegian writer, one of my favourite writers. So it's a probably pretty crappy adaptation of Mysteries, but I really just want to see how it goes. I've considered doing a graphic novel adaptation of Mysteries for about the last 20 years now. I had a few more things, but our guest is popping in. One last thing is this Frank DVD, Visions of Frank. It's put out by Press Pop, I believe. It's all different Japanese animators doing Jim Woodring stuff, and there's sand animation and CGI and just all sorts of stuff on here. It's a really fun. I don't know if you can get this on eBay. It comes with a little comic. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful DVD. Simon's DVD corner.
Very cool. Should we have a guest on?
Yes.
All right.
Hello,
Alex.
It's
Hi.
Alex Graham of the Devil's Grin. Hello, Alex. Thanks for coming. Josh, you've just finished reading it today, haven't you? Oh, you've
I
read
have
it.
one chapter left. I have this final chapter.
But you've been enjoying it thus far, Josh.
Incredible. It's
Oh.
this it's unless you really fuck up this last chapter, it's a book of the decade. It's.
I don't
Thanks,
recall
guys.
reading it. Fuck up. Yeah, great book, Alex. I read this on the couch, just enthralled, and then literally turned back to the start again with like knowing the ending and just with the new context. Just went back and reread the intro and just love Robert to death and Dandelion, the whole gang. How are you doing? How are you doing? You're working on this bit. You're good.
Yeah, I just finished my 14th page in the last 2 weeks, so I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
I had to wake up and put my face in a bowl of ice water so that you guys couldn't see my eye bags.
When are your shit 2 weeks coming up? You suffer from PMDD, as you've written
Yeah.
about. When are the shit weeks coming up?
They're coming up in the next few days.
Okay.
Yeah, so my work weeks are over, but I recently joined a gym, and I've gotten stuff a lot more under control than it was before.
Okay.
So
Feeling
what?
good.
You're 14 pages into it would be like chapter 7.
I'm like 100-something pages into chapter 7.
Jeez.
Let me see.
Whew.
Well, you're still going to be like serializing. This is just like a really long chapter.
I only wanted this chapter to be like 70 pages, but it's at 96 right now, and I probably have like 7 more pages left when I come back.
Wait, so people on the Substack that subscribe or have already read this, they're already into book 2.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty good amount of people that are following along on the Substack and Patreon, because when I do public appearances like the book signings and and like short run, people come up to me all the time and they're like, I'm following along on Substack and you left off on such a great point. I'm like, wow, because I get like 5 or 6 or 7 likes on each post, but I had no idea people were, because honestly, I wouldn't follow along with it I wouldn't follow along with it on those platforms. I would wait for the print edition because I feel a pressure to like get things out timely, and sometimes that pressure like doesn't make for the best final product. So before I print, I always have to go back and redraw a bunch of panels and pages. But so I would consider following along on like Substack to be witnessing the first draft of the story. And then I would consider the floppies to be the second draft, and I would consider the book to be the final draft.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so like I stopped reading, I think, after the 3rd one, because I thought like, this is so good, like I want to experience the whole thing in one go.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is the best way to read it? I mean, financially for you, it's going to be the floppies, obviously. I mean, people should buy the floppies as a support, but I mean, like the best way to read it, do you think this is, or?
Honestly, if I had it my way, I would do like Dan Klaus does and just like hide away for 5 years and then come out with a new book. Yeah. But I have to do it this way to survive, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're not a millionaire, are you, Alex? I think so.
Is Dan Klaus a millionaire?
I'd say so. I mean, post Shia LaBeouf settlement, and you know, a couple of successful screenplays, the Oscar nomination, and I should hope so.
Those well DVDs.
Wow.
Chris Ware just did the big stamp for the big post office thing. Like, he must have gotten paid for that. My first thing was just like, my gosh, how much did he get paid? Like, yeah, that's a good gig. But yeah, hopefully we can all get there, the 3 of us, and then, you know, you'll be doing the stamps in 30 years. Alex, if there's still a post office in the future.
I don't even want to look 5 years into the future, but I'm sure. I honestly don't think things will be that different. It's just going to get incrementally harder and harder to do anything. Like right now, anytime we order takeout or go out to eat, which is like once a month, like 95% of the time the food is like overcooked or dry or just made without love, because nobody wants to be doing anything anymore right now. And just like customer service is just dead everywhere. And I understand why, like things are shitty, but it just feels like nothing is operating the way it should.
Counterpoint, Alex. I live out in the valley in the suburbs, and I get served by the most fresh-faced, attractive kids who are full of life and full of joy. They're great, and I tip very well.
Yeah,
they're all fantastic. But that's out in the valley. That's outside of a city. You live in downtown Seattle.
I got my city goggles on.
Yeah, no, it's nice out here. It's lovely. People are very friendly. I'm always shocked by how friendly and lovely people are. But the food is horrible and makes me immediately go home and shit my guts out. So, you know, it's a trade-off. And the price of it is insane. It's not worth. DoorDash is horrible. It's so expensive. Hiring a little limo for a little sandwich, and it gets driven around for like $40 for a sandwich. I was doing it a bit, but I've had to wean myself off, and it's like it's outrageous. I'll just make a cheese and Vegemite sandwich.
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, I used to spend almost all my time in cafes, drawing, drinking coffee, and now getting one coffee is like $13 just for one coffee out here, at least. But I can only afford to do that like once every 2 weeks now.
It's kind of nuts.
This brings me on to something that I had a question. Like in this book, you talk about like the 70s being the peak of culture. Do you think that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if I had to go back in time, I would live in the 70s, because there's just, first of all, so much access to drugs, any drug you wanted, good stuff, nothing laced with fentanyl. Let me think of another reason. That's like my number one reason.
Culture was better.
The music was better.
The fashion, like things were new, like things that hadn't happened before. I
Mhm.
don't know if, I mean, you can't say that nothing new is going to happen going forward, but it does seem like we're
Yeah.
remixing everything and just mixing up genres of
Mhm.
things. Like, when's a new movement going to happen? Hopefully it will, but
Yeah, like fashion is an interesting thing to look at now because no new fashion is emerging. It's just that we're regurgitating every fashion era that came before. Like you can see somebody that looks like they're from the 70s walking down the street. You can see somebody that looks like they're from 2001 walking down the street, but nothing is new, nothing is fresh. It's just like everything exists all at once.
yeah, pop
And
music's
it's
hit a wall, or it's just cannibalizing hip hop
Mhm.
stuff and trap.
Yeah.
SoundCloud now it's caught up to, and
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're getting to the point of like things that sucked the first time around, like new metal. That's back.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids are getting those tribal tattoos that people were getting in the mid early 2000s after 9/11, the tribal tattoos, but they're calling it something else, but it looks exactly the same. I'm like, you guys are going to fucking regret that.
no, it'll be cool forever, Alex. It'll keep coming back around. I think the 90s for me was like, I like the 90s. So I've been watching lots of old
Yeah.
Australian like live music show. There's a show called Recovery, like a youth show that was on for 3 hours every Saturday morning, and all the bands had come through. And I don't know, it was just the culture was nice and fun, and I don't know,
Mhm.
it was cool.
Public access TV was like the coolest thing in the 90s, man. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of people that got to experience that.
The internet sucks. Like it really does.
Mhm.
The internet was exciting
Yeah.
when it started to come out. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I've talked about it before. Like it was too much. Like you get too much information in your head, and it'd be swimming in things you shouldn't know and things that you wanted that you shouldn't know exist. But it was exciting. But looking back to the 90s, like pre-internet, like it was just so fucking magical. Things, our brains were quieter. It wasn't stuffed full of all this noise and shit. And yeah, but it's, you know, yeah, can't go back in time. Gotta forge ahead.
And there's really no like counterculture anymore, because there was countercultures in every era leading up to this, but now it's just like, I don't know, there's nothing counterculture anymore.
Well, it's all so diffuse. So I guess there is counterculture, but it's just all different. It's all mixed about, and it's just a constant spray of bullshit. Yeah.
Anyway.
We're chugging along. You've got a new book out, Alex, aside from The Devil's Grin, which is out from FANTAGRAPHICS and you can buy in bookstores like Barnes & Noble and stuff. You're selling a book on Lulu.
Yeah. When I was in my early 20s, I didn't draw comics. I spent all my time writing on a typewriter because that's mainly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a writer and a poet. And the book that I just put up on Lulu is some stream of consciousness writing that I actually have on a hidden page on my website. And I go back to it every couple of years and I look at those and I'm like, I hope somebody discovers this. I hope somebody reads this and thinks it's like a secret page that they're not supposed to see. But then I was doing that again the other day and I was like, if I want somebody to see these so bad, then I can just fucking print it and people can buy it and read it in a printed book. So I don't, it's not anything groundbreaking. I was reading a lot of William Burroughs at the time, so it's kind of that type of like stream of consciousness, not an imitation of Burroughs, but just similar thing.
I personally am excited. As someone who thinks that you're a very good writer and enjoyed the shit out of this, I'm just interested. I think you sold it as a curio, like, if you're interested, like, pick up a copy and, it's just a snapshot of your brain at the time. So I'm interested. I purchased.
Thank you.
It's the kind of thing as well. It's just this is going to be a special item in the future. This is going to go away and you won't be able to get it unless you can dig around on the website. Like, I was trying to find a copy of Mrs. Met by Carissa Sakamoto the other day. You can't buy that anywhere. That's just gone. Did you read that, Alex? Back in the
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, do you know Carissa Sakamoto? She's from like Portland or something. She did a comic called Mrs. Met on. I think that Mr. Boop comic completely just ripped it off. We were talking about this recently. Like the first episode of Mrs. Met next to Mr. Boop. It's essentially the same fucking thing. But yeah, Carissa Sakamoto, she's great. She's just come back with just last week or something. She's like, oh, I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. I got like a newsletter you can subscribe to. I instantly subscribed, but I got a bunch of her zines. She's just a great doodler, great drawer, and a comic called Enderman came out a few years ago. She started doing sort of like weird computery kind of stuff. But Floating World put out some of her stuff. Worth tracking down, but my point was, it's stuff that disappears. Like you can't just easily access this Carissa Sakamoto stuff. So if I didn't buy your book of writing from Lulu, in 10 years from now, I'd be like, fuck, why the fuck didn't I buy that at the time? And I'd be searching around on eBay and just no record, nothing available.
There's a novel that I wrote when I was 21, and I actually had it printed on Lulu way back then, like 20 years ago.
Oh.
And they only did spiral bound books, but I only printed like 10 copies of them, and I gave them away to all my friends, thinking everybody was going to love it and devour it, and nobody read it, nobody got back to me, which I totally fucking understand. But like, I only know one of those people that still has a copy of that book, and mine is gone.
Yeah.
They're all gone, but I'm having that person send it to me so that I can have it professionally scanned and figure out what to do after that, because there's people that are interested in seeing that. It's probably really embarrassing. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but
oh, it sounds fun. We were just talking about that the other day, Josh. Like, there's some book of mine, a big choose your own adventure book I made with my friend Carl, who died, and like, I don't have a copy. My ex-girlfriend took it years ago. Like, and I wrote to a friend in Hobart, and he donated his to like the art museum. So I know there's one in this museum. I kind of want to break in and steal it. But yeah, just you don't have your own copy, and it's just lost. And there's probably like 20 of these things out there or something. Yeah, beautiful time capsule and a piece of my soul. I really want this book. It pains me that I don't have a copy.
Was I with you when the Werewolf Jones signing? Some guy came up and he had like a bunch of zines he'd bought off like Discogs or something.
Yeah, it was like I forgot. Yeah, it was this weird zine with this like 30-page comic by me that I had no memory of making. And yeah, I took a bunch of photos. I actually was looking through my photos the other day, Josh, and I saw that in there. I held up the line and took a photo of every single spread in the zine. Yeah, he found that on Discogs for like $10 or something. This incredibly rare thing. So my friend Emma Songdahl, I think, she was this mad kind of like punk feminist, crazy girl who did the scrappiest, most amazing fucked up comics. And yeah, she used to host these big zine parties, and we'd all go there and get drunk as fuck and make weird shit. It's a glorious time. Glorious.
I miss drawing drunk so bad. My line when I used to draw drunk, my line was it like uninhibited my line work. Nah,
Wow.
I don't drink anymore, but it's crazy that your output is so prolific that you don't remember making a 30-page zine.
Well, I would have been incredibly drunk at the time.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Incredibly so. Yeah, no, just no memory really. Just like complete, like, whoa. Just it's lovely to be able to look at something you've made through like completely foreign eyes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Stepping outside of your own brain and looking at yourself. Ugh.
I have a huge like tub of some of my old work from a long time ago, and it's so weird looking back at all that stuff, because you can like, do you have that feeling where like you can kind of remember the way you felt when you drew something or painted something? Like it transports you back to that moment in time. It's kind of like having a diary, even if it's just paintings and images. But yeah, it's a crazy trip back through time to look at your old stuff.
Well, like a painting, for instance, you're spending anywhere from like 20 to 40 hours on something maybe at a time in your life. So I can often look at a painting and remember what song I was listening to at the time, or like a TV show I was watching currently throughout that process. It just, it is like a memory starter.
Yeah,
there's
a whole zine. Yeah.
There's a page in here that every time I look at it, I'm transported back to, because I drew it at the bar next door, and after I was done drawing it, the door guy came up to me and started being an asshole to me for no reason. So now every time I look at that page, I just get my feelings hurt again, even though the page has nothing to do with that.
Like bloody doorman's haunted your book.
It's like an imprint. It imprints itself onto the work.
Yeah, it just makes an association in your brain. It'll never go away.
Yeah.
Now you've talked about it publicly, so now like that'll even more compound the haunting of the doorman in there. So just forever now.
Yeah.
Throw you out of the book. Yeah, I love this so much, Alex. Really, just I haven't read a comic in a long time. Just so well paced and well written, and just fully immersive. The pacing's great.
Thank you. I'm really excited for part 7 to come out because I think this part is really, really, really strong. I'm really excited for it to come out. And I have a pinup that Jasper Jubinville drew for it. And it's really fucking cool.
He's bloody good, Jasper. He's some of his little originals, and they're just like, I don't know how he's not doing it without a jeweler's glass. It's just the most, he's just, got some sort of magic touch. He's crazy.
So good.
I was going to say something, but I forgot something about this book.
Yeah, it's incredible work. It's
Thank you.
Oh yes, that's right. So I saw a bunch of people I was talking about the pacing. I saw someone online shitting on people like me and you, Josh and Alex. So just like comics formalism or something, or just like grids. It's just grids. But I think that's the strength of it. Like when I read something and it's all big weird splashes and triangle panels and inset panels, like it can often just be a complete fucking distraction. But this you've got an occasional splash panel. But it's just 6-panel grids and it just moves along at a rapid clip. There's no Chris Ware confusion where it's like you hit a page and like, fuck, where do I go? This is a puzzle I have to solve. Oh, I've gone to the wrong panel. I just fell into it and just read it in one sitting, and it became real in front of my eyes. The pictures danced like a zoetrope and dazzled me. These characters truly came alive and forced themselves into my heart.
Yeah, there's I mean, both of you, it's like both of your comics, there's no tricks, there's no crutch. Like, if you're going to do something so consistently, it's a 6-panel grid every single time. It's like, well, you better have like good characters or good story, and it's
I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts about the grid. I had somebody coming at me a couple of years ago, weirdly, like about me using 6-panel grids in a really aggressive way, and it was so weird, but it made me start thinking about like grids and page layouts and stuff. And it's like, if another cartoonist is focused on how to lay out a page, that's fine, like do whatever you want, but I'm more concerned with telling a story. That's where my concern. I'm not going to waste energy like with every new page being like, I'm going to put a circle here, I'm going to put this over here. Like, I don't give a shit about that, and my audience doesn't give a shit about that either.
Yeah, and it's also, if you're trying to reinvent the wheel constantly, it's like, it's a good wheel, it's like the wheel's fine.
Yeah. I grew up reading the funnies, just like Garfield, 3 panels, just or a Peanut Sunday, just the beats, just character writing, just lovable characters. That's what we're doing.
The newspaper comics were my first inspiration, because I grew up reading the newspaper comics every single day, and I think that's the first type of cartoonist that I thought I was going to be.
And did you read Fred Bassett by Alex Graham?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. The other Alex Graham.
Yeah, it was in the Rocky Mountain News, and I was like, hey, that's my name. That's weird.
It set you on your path. You and your dog comics, your weird dog comics.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we better shut this down. Josh has to get out of here at 1. On that note, Alex's weird dog comics. Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Banger Chatketeers, go get this. It's bloody great. If you like well-written work, you'll love this. Taste may vary, but I think this is a fucking banger.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, it should be the number 1 on every list at the end of the year. Like, I can't think of anything that's come close to it this year. It's incredible.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, keep up the good work, Alex. Thank you for making such a lovely book, and Yeah, hope you and the cats and Peppermint Patrick are all right and all that jazz.
Yeah, we're doing great over here.
All right, lovely. Well, we'll talk soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we leave, we'll just check in on Nathan one
Let's check in on Nathan Cowdery. Yes. Turn his
Yeah,
volume up.
So, thanks everyone for watching.
Oh,
Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Thanks, guys. Nice to see you and talk to you.
Bye.
I started running in shoes. I had Italian shoes that I bought from stolen money from my shoplifting in London. I started running in shoes, Italian shoes, corduroy trousers, blue, and shirts.